Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus House system. So I wanted to just take a couple minutes to give a shout out to all the people that were at the conference last week at Robert Phoenix's conference in astrology. Of course, we all spoke about our favorite subject, astrology. So, Texas, I met some very nice people and I had a really, really good time. And, you know, by the way, Miami didn't get hit with a Hurricane Milton. So for everybody that reached out to me, all the viewers that did, thank you so much. Everything is good. We need to pray for the people in central and northern Florida because they've been hit twice now. Once with Helene and then now with Milton. But thank you so much for reaching out. Now, this video is going to be based on October 17th full moon in Aries at 24 degrees. On the same day, Venus enters Sagittarius, but for the full moon, Venus is still going to be in Scorpio, in the last degrees of Scorpio, the 29th degree. Now, this is a difficult full moon, but I wanted to share my screen and show you how to get the information. So, I always use AstroSeek and it's astro-seek.com. And then you go over here to the moon calendar, and this is where I get the charts for the eclipses. And this one I'm using for the full moon. All right, so when I clicked down here, October 17th, you click here, and then this is what you get. This is the chart of the full moon that's going to happen on October 17th at 24 degrees and 35 minutes. Now, this full moon is very difficult. And I'm sorry, I wish I had better news, right? But it's going to be very difficult, especially for the cardinal signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So if you have any planets plus or minus 3 degrees from 24 degrees, so that means from 21 to 27 degrees, you will be affected by this full moon. So the effects of the full moon are plus or minus a week. So 1 week before the full moon and 1 week after. So this chart here, there's a grand cross. Because the full moon is here, right? You have the sun in Libra, the moon in Aries, and then you have Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, and then you have Mars in Cancer at 22 degrees. So like I said, this Grand Cross makes it very difficult for this full moon. Now, I don't know, okay, so let's start with the aspects. So this is the full moon. This is this big opposition. That's the full moon. Now, you see the square from Pluto. It's this little line, right? That Pluto is squaring the sun and Pluto is squaring the moon. All right, so Pluto is at 29 degrees of Capricorn. 29th degree is the degree of Leo, which represents presidents. All right, so this can be talking about presidents of Scorpio countries because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. But before we get there, again, if you have any cardinal signs, any planets in cardinal signs, like if you have your moon or your sun around these degrees from 21 to 27, careful with conflicts, especially because it's happening in Aries. The full moon is happening in Aries, And Aries is a very assertive, aggressive sign. They speak first and they think about it later and say, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that." Now, Pluto in Capricorn rules corporations as well. But so this can speak about, if we're talking about corporations here, right? The squares to that Pluto's making, it can talk about a financial crisis. It can talk about instability in the stock market. It can talk about banks, issues with banks. So again, not only is this full moon squaring Pluto, right, here, but it's also squaring Mars. So, and what I don't like about it is the squares to Mars is at the 22nd degree, which is the degree of Capricorn, but it's also a special degree. It's to kill or be killed. So we have the square to Pluto at 29 degrees. We have the square to Mars in Cancer, right? We have the Sun in Libra and we have the Moon in Aries. These are all cardinal signs. So if we're talking about Pluto at the 29th degree, we're talking about maybe a leader of a Scorpio nation. It's a president that needs to make a difficult decision. Scorpio rules Israel, according to the degree theory. Now, Pluto is opposite Mars at 22 degrees. So these decisions can involve, life and death situations. Um, I seriously doubt it's gonna involve corporate stuff. Um, but it can. I mean, that's like the better option, believe it or not. The better option between a full-scale war between Iran and Israel, because Iran is also ruled by Scorpio because it's a Muslim country. So a financial crisis is better than war, in my opinion. Or, Capricorn also rules people that are in very high positions, like executives and stuff like that. So that could also mean that. Now, the the interesting part here is that Pluto is sextiling Neptune and it is trining Uranus, which is at 26 degrees of Taurus, which we all know that there's a fixed star there called Algol, the demon star. So this is a trine. So whatever happens is going to be successful. Taurus rules the Jewish people. So I believe that based on these aspects, there will be an escalation of the war between Iran and Israel. Why? Because Iran is also ruled by Scorpio. Actually, all Muslim countries are ruled by Scorpio. So on the mundane level, we're speaking of escalation of war between October 11th to about November 2nd and 3rd. All right. So in the next couple of weeks, this is gonna be, I mean, I hope I'm wrong, I hope that I'm wrong because I think it starts with tomorrow, October 11th, which is the day I'm going to release this video. Um, the moon in Capricorn conjuncts Pluto, and that's never a good sign, especially with Pluto opposing Mars. So what this tells me is that these events, whatever happens, is going to be either happening at night, Neptune, or in the sea, because Neptune rules night and it also rules the sea. And there's a retrograde there. So this is to do over. Now, with Neptune sextiling, this is a sextile Uranus. Unfortunately, there could be something nuclear involved, either a threat to a nuclear facility or worse. So, Uranus is sextiling Mars. Now we all know that Mars, sextiling Uranus or any aspect of it is something that happens suddenly and it can be an explosive situation because Uranus is there. Um, so, this is also a difficult situation and it looks like it's going to be successful because Neptune is trining Mars. These are favorable aspects, so whatever's going to happen is going to happen with ease. So the only saving grace I see is Pluto sextiling Venus in Scorpio. It's like what 3 minutes apart from being an exact sextile. So this can be paying off someone with money. Um, so maybe if I'm not saying that there's going to be bribery or anything like that, but you know what? Maybe if Iran receives or Israel receives a big chunk of money, maybe they can back off, right? Because otherwise, on a personal level, when you have Pluto sextiling Venus, this could be a very passionate new start in love or business, but it's mostly love. Now, um, speaking of which, in my October astrology aspects that I did for the video, I said peace and love, right, for the month of October for personal issues. So when I said that, doesn't mean that you're a doormat for other people, right? You can take a stand against someone in power using peace and love. Venus, right? Because Venus rules Libra and Libra rules peace and love. So Venus to me is the only saving grace here. I'm not going to do a sign by sign basis because I really didn't have time um, to get this prepared, but on a mundane level, we are going to experience very shocking events. I hope to God that I'm wrong, that maybe it's just a financial crisis and stuff with banks, you know, things that can have an easier solution than it is if Iran and Israel go to a full scale or the war escalates even further. Um, I do think that from October through March, like I said in my October video, they're going to be very difficult months. I think December is going to be the only one that we might get a little breather. But after that, I mean, October, November are difficult. And then January through March are also difficult. If you are in an area where it's close to war, I would secure drinking water. I would also secure food. Obviously, I've never been involved in a war, but I've had a lot of experience with hurricanes, and that's what we do. The water is first, because you could always go without food a whole bunch of more days than you can without water. So if you are in these zones where this is happening, my prayers are with you. Anywhere near these events, um, secure water and secure food. So, unfortunately, I hope to God that the next, yeah, these couple of months are going to be tough. So I was going to say, but I do have an announcement. I will do a video as my gift to you guys for Christmas, for December, where I am going to tell you, according to the degree theory, what's the best thing you can do to hold on to money. The second house. If you have planets there, whatever your sign is, I will stay tuned because it will be coming, but in December, right? So anyway, if you have at least learned the aspects from this video, I know that the subject matter is not easy, and I know that, some people are not going to like it because I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I do want people to know what's coming up. Okay. So, like I said, if you at least learn something from the astrology, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to somebody that it might also help learn astrology. I want to thank you for watching, And if you want a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.